Welcome to the Inside the U post-game show. The Miami Hurricanes have knocked off number 2 Duke 76-74. Huge win for Miami. Shout out to everybody who's here Saturday night. I'm glad you're here. There's a lot to get to, and I'm glad you're excited about this one. And if you're just joining the post-game show, I'm going to do a little bit of instant analysis, reaction to the win, to the game. And then as soon as Jim Larranaga and players are available through our Zoom post-game interview session, I will be quiet and I'll go straight to the Zoom press conference with Coach Larranaga and players. Usually it takes about 5-10 minutes. We'll see. It's game on the road. Let's get into it. Let me know what you think. Some things stand out to me. Obviously, Charlie Moore had a huge game, 18 points. That's great to see. I thought he played really well. He cut down on his turnovers, and as a team, Miami did a really good job on that with just 5 turnovers on the day. I was really surprised that Duke did not try to exploit Miami more inside. I thought Miami did a good job and tried to limit the touches inside. And actually, and I'll flip it over here. And as you can see, the points in the paint, Miami 52, Duke 38. And a lot of that came in the second half for Duke. Miami just did a really good job with their points in the paint throughout. And I thought that was impressive because, again, I think if you guys watched the game, you saw Duke with Paulo Banchero and Mark Williams certainly had an advantage down low. And I think, I touched on Charlie Moore. I thought it was good that Kameron McGusty and Isaiah Wong stayed aggressive. Kameron McGusty gets that late bucket that sends Miami past Duke. I thought it was good, finished 7 of 15 from the floor. But that shot at the end, Charlie gets the bucket, misses the free throw, Jordan Miller with the rebound, and then gets it to McGusty, and he stays aggressive and goes to the basket. And it did not look good there in the closing minutes. Banchero gets the block and a couple buckets, and it felt like Miami's efforts were going to come up a little bit short. Even though they played hard, they played really well throughout the game. But then all of a sudden you get these big buckets by your 6-year senior guys and Moore and McGusty, 2 big plays there. Isaiah Wong, huge play down the stretch as well. And then Jordan Miller, another veteran guy. And I think that's what you saw tonight. You saw Miami with that veteran team really took advantage of staying confident. They got out to the early lead, 16-8. I felt like that was a good point in the game where Miami stayed in it. And certainly a lot of things had to happen to get this win. But I just thought that start was good. And then you start seeing some positive things. I touched on the inside scoring, and I'm going to go ahead and bring that up here so you guys can see. Again, a little bit of the stats here. Let's flip to Miami stats a little bit here. Other guys that played well, I just thought it was a collective effort. Sam Wardenberg did a good job. Again, you're talking about a team that excelled down low with Banchero. I thought he stepped outside a little bit too much early on, which played to Miami's advantages. And then obviously you saw him get going. You saw Mark Williams get going. But, Sam Wardenberg did a good job defending the best he could. And you saw on the rebounds. I definitely want to bring that up. So Miami had 30 and Duke 44. If you follow this team, Miami's not going to win the rebounding battle. They're last in the ACC coming into the game. It's just not a strength of theirs. But I thought they did a good job of staying in it. It didn't. They didn't get overwhelmed with it. And you look at second chance points. Duke had 14-12, and they did not have any second chance points in the first half, I think. So basically, Miami did a really good job on that. Basically, you're just trying to limit your weaknesses. So Miami doesn't rebound well, but they did a good job of staying in it. Came up with some big rebounds. I thought Anthony Walker just to 6 points, but they were just kind of some big buckets. He gets that layup to end the half, and then he makes some nice plays in the second half too. So a lot of guys contributed in this one, and that's what you have to win a game like this. If you're just joining, Miami improves to 13-3, 9 straight wins. First time since they started the 2017 season, 10-0, 5-0 in the conference. Only the second time in school history they've ever done that. The last time they did that, they went 13-0 during that 2013 championship season. So Miami's looking good. Impressive win tonight. There's no other way to say it. We're just getting going on the Zoom here. They just let us in. Jim Larranaga typically goes first, and hopefully we get at least one player as well, if you just give me a second here.
Recording in progress.
So I'm just getting this set up, and then we'll go over there as soon as Coach Larranaga comes in. Last time, if you guys remember the last stream, I accidentally had my mute off while I was doing this, so I've got everything squared away. So Larranaga will talk 5 to 10 minutes typically. We'll go right to him. A lot of media members on the Zoom call right now. Here we go.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, you can, Coach.
All right, folks, we got head coach Jim Larranaga here. Just so y'all know, we will have players tonight as well. Coach, you want to start with an opening statement?
Yeah, well, that was an exciting game from start to finish. I thought our guys played extremely well, got us off to a good start. Duke came roaring back, played very well, tied up at the half, and both teams kind of just exchanged punches in the second half. And when they got ahead by 3, it didn't look good for us, but Charlie Moore made a sensational move to the basket, made an incredible layup, and then Jordan Miller came up with an incredible offensive rebound. And Cam McGusty, hit the game winner. So a lot of guys contributed throughout the game. Duke obviously has earned their high ranking.
We missed the beginning of L, but he's up.
I'm really, really proud of the way my guys executed the game plan and stuck together.
I will go now into questions for Coach L. If you have one, please use the hand raise function and wait to be called on. Michelle Kaufman from the Miami Herald.
Hey, Jim, congratulations. That's a big signature win for you guys. Can you just talk about the defense and what was your game plan? I mean, they had the height on you. Everyone wondered how you were going to be able to stop Banchero and Williams, Griffin. Talk about your game plan, just the defense in the first half especially, all those steals.
Well, we're not very big and we're not bulky. We know whenever we play an ACC team, they're probably going to be bigger and more physical than us. So we really have to do it with teamwork. I thought our guys today really showed great anticipation and kind of understood what Duke was trying to do with their offense, and we were just trying to limit how many times they dunked the ball on us in the paint. And it took a whole team to do that. We surrounded them, deflected the ball a couple of times, stole it a couple of times. So I don't know how many turnovers they ended up with, but they had
17, which is a season high for them.
Yeah, so, that's teamwork. Charlie Moore was everywhere in the first half, getting steals and also scoring the ball. But this is a team that relies very heavily on each other, and they do trust each other, have confidence in each other.
Going now to Luke Cheney from the Miami Hurricane. Luke.
Hey, Coach, can you talk a little bit about Wooga Poplar's impact off the bench?
Yeah, I just finished telling Wooga what a factor he was. He played 10 minutes. He was out with COVID for a while, so he fell a little bit behind with his conditioning and everything. But he's been practicing hard this week. We practiced Friday, and he looked terrific. So I knew I was going to call on him. But his rebounds, his defense, and his ability to get to the rim are outstanding. He's going to be a terrific ACC player. There's no doubt in my mind.
West Lammy from Worldwide West.
Hey, Coach, obviously, you mentioned how Moore led the way, but can you talk about how you had obviously 4 players scoring in double figures, able to keep that balance for you guys throughout the game?
Well, one of the guys who's not in double figures is very much responsible for helping us spread the wealth. Sam Wardenberg, I don't know how many points he had, 5?
2.
Just the dunk was all? Oh, I
He
thought
had
you.
5 assists.
Okay, but
Yeah.
you see a guy gets 5 assists, and a lot of those are backdoor passes or hitting a guy for a 3 or getting the ball back to a guy who's got a hot hand. And Sam is just really terrific at that. And our guys in the last several timeouts, I kept telling the team, keep throwing it back to Sam and using him as a screen. And they did that beautifully, and Sam handled it beautifully.
We'll go now to Michelle Kaufman again. Michelle.
Jim, can you just put this game in perspective? I mean, how big a win is this? Obviously, you won 8 leading into it in a row. This is, how big of a win is this to go up there to win at Duke? And what do you think, it says about your team right now?
Well, I know for the players, they're thrilled. They're excited about a big win like this. For me, as a coach, I know we have 15 more conference games. So this is just one of 20. And no matter who you beat, no matter where you beat them, it counts as one. And right now, we're happy with this great victory tonight, but we know we've got a major challenge on Tuesday at Florida State.
Go now to Michael Euro, 305 Sports. Michael.
Hey, Jim, can you talk about how your team's been able to handle adversity this season, especially in the second half, and how you think your team responded down the stretch against Duke?
One of the things that we knew coming into the season is we have veteran players. Charlie Moore is a veteran, Cam McGusty's a veteran, Isaiah Wong, Sam Wardenberg. When you have older guys and they trust each other, then the expression I use all the time is don't play the score, play the game. If you start worrying about the score, if you're behind or you get ahead and then you don't play as hard because you think you've already gotten the lead, these guys are really playing the game. They're doing a lot of things at both ends of the floor to help each other.
Anything else for Coach L? All right, Coach, thanks for your time. We'll have players up now. I'll have Charlie Moore now. Charlie tonight set a program record in ACC play with 7 steals, tied for the 3rd most in any game in program history, and the 2nd most by a visiting player at the stadium. We'll start with Cal Friedman from WVUM. Cal, go ahead for Charlie.
Thank you, Alex. Charlie, congratulations on the win. You told me back in October that the one thing you wanted to do here was come here and win. How important is getting a win in Cameron Indoor tonight?
It's very important, to come in here to a historic, arena like Cameron Indoor, to come in with my teammates, play hard together, trusting each other out there on the court and trusting the coaching staff game plan. And us coming out to win, we feel pretty good about it. I feel pretty good about it as well.
And now to Michelle Kaufman. Michelle.
Charlie, congratulations. 2 things. One, can you describe the atmosphere there? You hadn't played there before, I don't think. What was it like? And number 2, can you talk about the defense? I mean, 7 steals. What was going through your mind? How were you able to do that?
The atmosphere here is, it's crazy. Just like you see on TV. Loud. Compact. And everybody's dressed in blue and white. And with my steals, I just wanted to help my teammates as much as possible. I know Duke is a very big team, so I just wanted to get in there and just help them out as much as I can in order for us to come out with the win. Using my energy and my IQ out there, and to help me just go out there and get steals.
Back to Cal.
Oh no, I don't have a question. Sorry.
Michelle, did you have another one?
Yeah, sure. I'll take another one. Everyone thought, or a lot of people thought anyway, that you guys were undersized and wouldn't be able to handle their big men, Bancaro and Williams Griffin. Can you just talk about how you were able to neutralize them with a smaller lineup?
It wasn't easy. Those guys are great players, skilled players, big players as well. We just used our energy, and like I said, we helped each other a lot out there, in order for us, to not have them contribute as much as they should or their normal thing they normally do. So, it was just a fun, experience, and just helping each other out there was what we plan to do.
We'll go now to Manny Navarro from The Athletic.
Hey, Charlie, congrats. I haven't looked at the box score, but I think somebody said earlier 4 3-pointers made. Was that right for you guys?
For who?
That's correct, Manny.
For the whole game. I mean, how do you? I mean, if somebody told you guys would come in and only make 4 3-pointers and still pull this out, I mean, would you have believed it? And what do you think it says about, you guys, that you can win a game by only making 4 threes?
I didn't know that. That's an interesting stat. We came out here and just played together, played hard. I probably wouldn't believe us winning if we only made 4 threes. But our energy out there, our effort, and us trusting each other helped us come out to win.
A few more for Charlie. Let's go to Michael Euro from 305.
Hey, Charlie, can you talk about how your team has been able to handle adversity? And, what was going on in your mind, down the stretch against Duke?
I feel like we've been handling adversity pretty well. Last couple games we've been down. Us just continue to, fight, stick together, like I've been saying, and trust each other, help us get back in the game. Us not going away from the game plan, what the coaching staff has taught us to do before the game and prepare for these games, and us just going out there and giving 110% effort out there.
Go to West Lammy from Worldwide West. Well,
Hey, Charlie, just one last thing, just to add on to what you just mentioned there. Obviously, you mentioned their environment, obviously Cameron crazies and everything. How did you feel overall as a team, you guys just handled that tough stretch down the road, especially with those shots down the road to officially close it out?
Man, there was so much stuff happening at the end of the game, man. It was an intense game, exciting game. We stuck together. We got a turnover at the end of the game by Sam, even though Sam played great. But we just kept staying together. We were just telling ourselves, we're good. All we need is a basket and one stop, and we eventually got that. So just us sticking together as a team, man, it's been great.
Charlie, thank you for your time. We'll have Cam McGusty up now.
Thank you.
Good evening, y'all. How y'all doing? Ooh. Can y'all hear me?
All right, we got Cam McGusty now. All right, the questions start with Michelle Kaufman from Miami Herald.
Hey, Cam, congratulations. Huge win for you guys. And you were pretty fired up after the final whistle there. What does this win mean to your team? What does it say about your team? I mean, you guys are 15-point underdogs. What does this say that you were able to go up there and win at Cameron against Duke the way you did?
For one, thank you for the compliment. Two, it just shows the type of team we are. I've been saying, we love those types of games. We love dog fights. We love where we have to get scrappy, where we have to really work, and all 40 minutes have to really go. And also, it just shows, we're not a team to play with anymore. We're the real deal, and I think everybody saw that tonight. We can play with anybody. We can compete with anybody. We can beat anybody. So it's finally good to see all that hard work paying off. As a program, these last 2 years, we've really gone through it. We had to stay down for the come up, and it just feels great to actually start to see, all the hard work and everything just coming together. I'm just so happy for my guys. I'm so happy for Coach L, for the Miami fan base as a whole. I mean, just the city of Miami. I'm just so happy for everybody right now.
Go now to Luke Cheney from the Miami Hurricane. Luke.
Hey, Cam, congrats on the win. Can you talk a little bit about what was going through your mind on that last layup, which, put Miami up ahead?
Man, I don't know. It was one of those things where my body just took over. I saw the lane, saw the gap, saw the opening, went and laid it in. Nothing too crazy. I didn't feel like I did any crazy moves or anything. I just did a straight line drive and I went in. We had been putting pressure on their defense all second half, even in the first half. So, we're one of the better penetrating teams in the conference. So, like I said, I'm just excited that it went in, excited that we got the win, and excited that we get to prove some people wrong.
Go to Manny Navarro from The Athletic.
Cam, congrats on the win. Coach mentioned he's still got 15 more of these. So as a coach, obviously he's not going to get too far ahead of himself. He wants you guys to stay focused. But you just mentioned the ride, getting to this point, helping this program turn around. You've won 9 in a row. Was there a moment, where maybe you just started to feel like, man, we're really going to get on a roll here, and like the chemistry was just right, that you guys could do something like this?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I knew it was only a matter of time. Through summer workouts, practice before our actual first game, I knew, we had the pieces. We just had to put it all together. I mean, we got out to a slow start, but like I always say, I always tell my guys, don't, a loss isn't a loss, it's a lesson. And we always are very good at going back to the drawing board, going back to the film, and communicating and talking to each other about what we need to do to help each other. We've come such a long way in terms of talking on the court, learning each other's game. We're basically a whole new team. So I'm lost for words right now with everything that's going on. I mean, does it surprise me? No. Am I happy for us? Yes. And yes, we do have to continue to keep going. It's just another win. We've got to take it as we're supposed to win these games now. So. Yeah, that's what we have to do. We're back to the drawing board, and I think we got Florida State next, right? Yep, so back to the drawing board, start scouting for Florida State, and get ready for Tuesday.
Got time for a few more for Cam. We'll go to Michael Euro from 305 Sports.
Cam, you take down number 2 Duke, 14 points in the game winner. Where does this game rank all time for you?
Woo! I'm not going to lie. This is number 1 without a doubt. I had my dad in the stands. And just beating Duke, not too many kids young adults get to say that they beat a blue blood or even make a game-winning shot, stuff like that. So, it's just a blessing. Duke has a hell of a program. Coach K is a heck of a coach. Their players that they bring in every year are always good. The crowd is always good. This is a dream come true for a kid. When you're 6, 7 years old, sitting down watching the NCAA tournament or watching Duke play North Carolina, you dream of being into this game and being able to hit a game-winning shot and being able to just win in general. Like I said, man, I'm just speechless, so happy. I'm so proud of my guys, coaches, faculty, everybody. I'm just so thrilled right now.
Last question for Cam comes from Michelle Kaufman.
All right. Oh, my mic is off. Can you talk about Charlie Moore and what he's meant to this team? I mean, it seems like you guys already had a lot of good pieces, but he seems to be really a big difference on this team this year, the way he's playing point guard.
Yeah, I mean, he's been such a tremendous help. He helps everybody out. He gets everybody involved. He helps everybody with where to be. He like I saw Coach L said the other day, he's like our quarterback, really. He's like our Tom Brady. He's the one who puts us in our sets. He's the one who gets us open shots. I mean, man, sometimes I just thank him so much. I told him today, I said, bro, thank you for waking up. I know you got out to a slow start, but man, you've been balling these last couple of weeks, and it's just made us better. You know what I'm saying? We definitely needed that. We haven't really had a true point guard in a couple years, so he's distributing the ball well. He's talking well. He's leading us. He's putting us in position to win, and I just appreciate it so much. Me and Charlie, myself have kind of the same path. Never really went to the tournament. This is our 6th year of college, so it's just a blessing to see the success that he has, and also what he's doing for us to help us win. I just thank him so much for that.
Thank you.
I can thank you for your time. Everyone else, thank you. The ACC
Thank y'all.
Get back in action Tuesday night in Florida State.
Woo!
So that wraps up the interviews. Again, if you missed it, if you jumped on late, you can watch it back after this is over. Jim Larranaga, Charlie Moore, Kameron McGusty, a lot of things that were said in there. I just want to follow up with what Cam McGusty had to say. I thought it was great. Really, you could really see his excitement with this win. He's a guy that's like all these guys, they want to win these games. They don't want to have the losing seasons year after year that they've had these last few years. It's been a grind. It's been tough. But there's a lot of pride in these upperclassmen. They want to win games, that, like Cam said, and certainly he expressed his excitement there. You hear him kind of cheer on there, so he's excited. Certainly a big game for Miami coming up. Florida State on Tuesday. They touched on that. A few things that stood out to me with Coach Larranaga. You talked about Sam Wardenberg. Again, just the 2 points, but he was credited with 5 assists. And, if you saw it there, he did a great job. And this is what, when Sam was out for a couple games, Coach Larranaga mentioned last game, just having him back, he does so much for the team. And I think you saw that tonight. He was very valuable in the high post where they can feed the offense, go through him. Like in the other guards don't always have to drive. They can give the ball up to Sam, at that high post, at that elbow spot there at the free throw line. And he was looking for backdoor cutters, and particularly Wugo Poplar really did a good job cutting backdoor, really setting up his man, and it led to some baskets. And I thought that was good. I thought that was important that Sam was able to do that. So a lot of guys played roles. It wasn't just the scores, but when you look at the scoring, I was just kind of looking at the stats as it was going on. Again, Miami 4 of 16 from 3. Obviously not a big night there, and only the 8 assists. And at one point, I think Miami had 3 assists when they were on the 50-point mark, which obviously you'd like to have more assists, but what they were doing was working, and that's the bottom line. And I think one thing that stood out to me, Kameron McGusty started 3 for 9, and I thought it was important for a guy like McGusty. Isaiah's the same way. They've got to keep shooting the ball, even if their shooting percents aren't good or maybe they're tougher shots. I think McGusty was forced into some tough shots because that's the best shot Miami can get at the time. So I thought it was good that he kept shooting and he finished strong down the stretch, obviously the game winner. But I thought Isaiah was the same way, where your top 2 scorers have to keep shooting the ball, and those are the guys you want shooting the ball. And I thought it was good that they stayed with it. Isaiah just 6 of 17. Obviously, like a better percentage, but I thought it was just important that he was the one taking the shots, that McGusty was the one, as opposed to some bench guys getting in there and feeling like they've got to shoot the ball or, kind of going away from it. I touched on Wardenberg. He was 1 of 4. I think, instead of Sam getting 12 to 14 shots because your guards aren't hitting at certain times, I don't think that benefits this team. I think this team is doing a great job of really understanding the roles. We've talked a lot about Charlie Moore. You heard about McGusty saying the difference he's making. And so Charlie's last 3 games, scoring the ball 18, 25, and 18, which is great, all ACC games. The 2 games before that, he had 7 and 9. So he's really cranked it up. I thought, if you saw my article on the game thread, when I established like a player of the game to watch or player to watch, Charlie was the player that I singled out coming off the 25-point game. And honestly, I thought this was going to be a tough matchup for him because of the way Jeremy Roach plays defense. And I just didn't think that Charlie was going to have a big game today. And he certainly did. And you could argue it was even bigger than the last game. The 18 points I thought was really impressive. The fact that it only came with 1 made 3-pointer, I thought that was really impressive. And then the 7 steals, if you heard the records being broke with that, it's the most ever by a Hurricane in an ACC game. And it was up and down, throughout the game with Charlie and his steals. And just, he did a good job of collapsing whenever they got the ball down low. And he just stayed active. And I think that's great for a guard to do that, because clearly it was a point of emphasis that the post guys needed help if the ball gets down there. Definitely, collapse a little bit. Look for that. Get your hands, have your hands stay active was clearly a point of emphasis, and Charlie did that, and I think that's good, and certainly maybe a lesson moving forward for not just Charlie but the rest of the guys. So I think that was great. The steals obviously led to some baskets, but more importantly, I thought it kept Duke out of rhythm on offense. I thought Duke looked uncomfortable. I'm going to go to their stats here and look at their shot selections. Their shot distributions, because I thought that was big too. That was one of my keys to the game. I thought, for example, Trevor Keels and Jeremy Roach needed to be the guys that shot more for Miami to do well in this one. And you see Trevor goes 2 for 11, 1 for 6 from 3. That benefits Miami because they're not just feeding Banchero down low or Mark Williams. And you saw when they did, you see Banchero go 6 of 10 and Mark Williams 6 of 8. And so instead of those guys just getting, Banchero didn't shoot 20 times, and Williams, they didn't feed him a lot until the second half. And I thought that played into Miami's hands. Jeremy Roach, 3 of 8. And I think that was good that those were the guys shooting the ball. Then Wendell Moore is certainly a capable scorer, but he goes 5 of 12. So Miami was able to kind of avoid some of their weaknesses because of Duke's shot selection. Their shot distribution. And I thought that played into Miami's favor, and it worked out well. And it did look dicey at times in the second half as Duke was clearly trying to get the ball inside, but Miami did just enough to get the win and to keep Duke uncomfortable throughout. So Duke came into the game as one of the top efficient teams in the country. So certainly they're capable of scoring at a high clip. They're kind of an inside-out team. I've seen most of their games this year, and they are a good team. This is not one of those. It's not like last year's Duke team. Miami beat Duke last year, but not a good Duke team last year. This is a legit national title contending team. Duke's going to be fine. They've got a lot of good players. They're going to win games. They're probably still the best team in the ACC. Miami did a lot tonight to prove themselves, but Miami's got to keep it going. I think Miami, I do want to mention this. Some people are wondering before this game, 12-3, 4-0 in the conference. Why wasn't Miami ranked? Why weren't they at least receiving any votes at all in the AP Top 25 poll? And I think that goes to the losses earlier in the year. UCF loss, not a good one. Miami starts 4-3. They weren't expected to have a big season, but I do expect Miami to get votes. It would not shock me at all at this point to see Miami not only get votes, but really press for that back end of the top 25 based on this win because of the respect that people have for Duke. It's a very good team, one of the best in the country. Miami at 13-3 now, at 5-0 in the conference. It's not a strong conference, but the fact that they are 5-0, they are winning games. They're doing what they're supposed to do. It's 9 straight wins. The 4-3 record, the slow start to the season, is essentially behind them, and I think voters are going to see that. So look for Miami AP Top 25 when that comes out on Monday. We'll definitely have a story on that, but reason to be excited. This is a very good Duke team, and now it's, regardless of what I thought about Miami coming into the season, I am surprised that they're having the year they are. But what you're seeing are some guys playing better, and you're seeing consistent positive results. And I think that's what you want to see. You want to see, okay, they won one game or they did this. Can they do it again? They got that ACC win back in early December where they beat Clemson, and that was fine. But then they were able to stack wins, NC State, Wake Forest, and obviously Duke, the big one. But they're able to keep it going. I think that's what you want to see. A couple of reasons why the biggest reason why you can be excited about Miami moving forward. Kameron McGusty and Isaiah Wong are two of the best guards in the conference, and anytime you've got very good guards, you've got a great chance of winning any game you're in, and you saw that tonight. Charlie Moore, Jordan Miller is coming on finally. Jordan had that slow start, first 10 to 12 games, was not scoring at a high clip, but he's gotten it going. I touched on Charlie Moore earlier. But if Charlie Moore and Jordan Miller can consistently be that third and fourth scorer, that complementary scores to this team, consistently play well and contribute, I think this team has a good chance of being, consistently good, and have a shot to continue to win games. Because again, with the way that Isaiah plays, and we saw last year Isaiah's, once again playing at a high level this year. Shooting percent is almost at 50%. Last year was closer to 41, 42. So he's picked it up even more in terms of his efficiency. And then Kameron McGusty, his all-around game. I want to flip over to that. We've seen this from Cam. So the stats weren't big for tonight for Cam, other than the game win. Obviously, the game-winning shot was huge. 14 points, only the 2 rebounds, no assists. We've seen him kind of get that 5-5 marks lately. He did have 2 steals, played 38 minutes, obviously huge for a guy like that to do that. So great game for him. Once again, finishes off. I see something here. The comments are great. Keep it going. It'll be very interesting to see what Duke does now moving forward and how Miami will respond as well. The other big thing for Miami, we have not touched on this. Miami started off 4-0. All of those wins were at home. So not only do you beat the team that is the highest rated team in the conference, but you do it on the road. And to start off the conference road schedule with this win, I think that says a lot. I think what we've seen from this team is they continue to get confidence. It's not about what I think or the fans or what anybody thinks of this team. I think the players and the coaches are gaining confidence each and every game because of the results they're getting And I think this win, not just because it's against Duke, and that's certainly great, but to do it on the road, to come back when they were down in that final minute, to grind it out, get a couple buckets when it didn't look good on the road. I thought that was important because you got to go on the road and win games. If you've seen the projections, and because I think at this point you can start thinking about NCAA tournament. I thought going into the season, I thought if they made the NIT, that would be a success because the last 3 years have been so disappointing. Didn't have a winning record. The first time that had happened since the early 90s. So not only are they putting that behind them, it looks like I think that, the NIT, I think a realistic goal right now is to make the tournament. They've not done that since 2018. Will it happen? There's still a lot of games left, but I think with where they're at in the season, I think that certainly is the goal at this point. 13-3, 5-0 in the conference, and we'll see how they play. If you've seen the projections, it's still really early, but most projections are about 4 to 5 teams from the ACC to make the NCAA tournament. So think about that as Miami, kind of moves around in the ACC standings, but right now they're leading the conference at 5-0, and that's obviously a great start for them. Some other things I do want to mention as we kind of just wrap this up, more, I guess, kind of going back to Charlie Moore and his play. What you're seeing from Charlie is, again, a guy that's been around college basketball. It's year number 6. It's his 4th team already. And he's just this veteran guy that talks about winning. He's kind of doing everything on both ends, and he's out playing as competitors. And certainly he's got to keep doing that because point guard play is very important. So he's got to continue to play well. I was a little curious how it was going to go when he picked up that 4th foul with about 6.5 minutes left. It definitely, again, you're looking for turning points, and it felt like, okay, maybe because he had been doing so well, maybe Miami's not going to be able to keep up, but they did. They were able to maintain, kept it close with him on the bench, and then when he comes in, he's able to give him that jolt. So I thought that was good that they're able to do that. Other things, I want to mention this, the turnovers. I wrote a note when Coach Larranaga was talking about Miami, just the 5 turnovers. This is either I think it's the 5th straight game Miami's had less than 10. Their turnovers are way down from where they were a year ago. I had a note in the pregame. Let me look it up before I mention it. But this is obviously a positive sign. It's not just for this game. It's happening throughout the year. Let me get this note for you guys. But I do have the stats up there. But anyways, I'll find it there later. But basically, Miami's not, their turnovers are not nearly the rate that it was last year, which is definitely a good sign. That can certainly be a positive moving forward in identity. So Miami, just the 5 turnovers. Duke was 17. You look at the points off turnovers, Miami turns those 17 turnovers into 17 points, and Duke just gets the 2 turnovers, 2 points off the 5 turnovers. So that was big. There are some key points like that, and I want to make sure we see the team comparison stats on the screen there, and you can see the differences. The points in the paint, I mentioned that. The points off turnovers, the turnovers were big. Shooting percents were close. 3-pointers were close. Free throws, both teams shot it fine. Duke got a few more points there. The 15 steals for Miami. So it's not just the turnovers, but Miami did a good job forcing it with the 15 steals. It's an incredible number. It's a number that I'm sure that'll probably be a season high for both teams. I'd be surprised if Duke allows 15 steals again, and for Miami to do that again would be really impressive. But I thought that was a big number, and only the 2 steals for Duke. So Miami did a good job, and you don't see those numbers, the turnovers and the steals. You usually don't see that for road teams to be able to do that. Home teams are typically more composed. That's the advantage of playing at home, especially when you have the higher ranked team. So very good job for Miami on that front. So a lot of positives for Miami. I do want to wrap this up. So tomorrow I'm going to take some more time to think about it. I'll have 5 takeaways from the game. Some of this stuff I've already talked about, but I will go in kind of more detail, kind of break down a few more stats. I'll have that up on Monday. And then once again, you go right back into Tuesday. Miami goes at Florida State. So hopefully you guys stay locked in on this team. Monday, the AP poll comes out. Hopefully I can get some more content. Look forward to doing that. If you guys are kind of new to the team and haven't really paid much attention, so Cal Freeman and he's been kind of helping me with the analysis of the team, how it's been going. We did a interview with Cam McGusty at the beginning of the season, kind of a sit-down interview like I've done with some of the football players, if you've seen those. But definitely search the channel for that if you'd like to watch him, maybe get to know Cam a little bit more. He's one of those guys that's kind of easy to root for type guys if you haven't gotten to know him or if you didn't see the video. So definitely check back on that. So I do want to thank everybody for jumping on. I was honest. I wasn't sure I was going to do this Saturday night. It didn't feel like that there was a lot of interest in the team, but I decided to do it regardless if they won or lost. So I'm glad you guys are here. I'm glad you guys are excited, and there's reasons to be excited. It's not just a one-game thing. You've seen it. You know the record. Miami does have good players. They've got a chance to keep it going, stay healthy. They've got this rotation in place right now with the 9-man rotation that's really working out well. I didn't touch on that, but the guys on the bench are kind of just slowly in their roles, the steady roles, while those top 4 guys, those top 5 guys are getting 30-plus minutes. Those top guys 35-plus. So they're really relying on that. And I feel like Jim Larranaga's teams over the years, this is dating back even before Miami, his teams excel when he's got that rotation with guys not rotating in a bunch of guys in the starting lineup, really going heavy minutes on his starters. When he has teams like that, they typically do well and win games. And I think you're seeing that right now, and you're seeing the scores really step up each and every game. So that's what you want with the consistency there. So I want to thank everybody once again for dropping by. You can watch it back. Jim Larranaga, Charlie Moore, and Cam McGusty on the interviews. I want to thank everybody for here. So many comments in here. I want to keep this thing going. If you guys know, I love college basketball. I watch a ton of games every week, ACC, other conferences. I watch a lot of basketball. So I'm glad you guys are excited because I like talking about this in general. And we still got a couple months left at conference play. A lot to be excited for this turn of the new year. And Miami has a good season. Still excited about some football coverage I have. So I want to thank everybody for following the channel. Stay locked in to InsideTheU.com. More coverage. Like I said, I'm going to have a little bit more in-depth stuff. Big game coming up, Miami, Florida State. It's not the same Florida State team that we've seen in years past. So Miami's got a shot at this one. They've not played against Florida State very well lately. So we'll see if they can get another one. Certainly, you expect the run to end at some point, but might as well just keep it going. So appreciate everybody for jumping in here. I'll let you get going. Have a good night. Enjoy the rest of the season. Enjoy tonight. Enjoy the victory.